Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Yes, it's me, Daddy Dragon, otherwise known as Graham Moore. I am just setting up the rest of the show and I'm going over to the other side. Can you tell me if you can see and hear me correctly? Let me have a quick look. John Aspinall, Tracy Truism, Ray Edmonds. I'm really pleased to see Ray Edmonds back out there because he has been a tremendous help in the last 10 years. We are one big family, and I don't generally chase people, or sometimes it can appear that you've gone off radar. It's not anything to do with that. I just know that people have their own problems in their life and they have to solve them problems and then get back into it. Holly England, how you doing, son? Archer not. Let's have a quick look. Before I do anything else, I'm going to show you this one because I think it needs show. What's that one? Must be that one. It's that one. Have a look at this on the screen. Impeach the judges. One of the principal things that everyone should remember here is it's not just the MPs and Parliament that have caused the massive problems for England. The problems have been caused by the judiciary, by judges, and the education system, and bad judgments. And ignorance is no defence of law. So on there, you have literally got the judges. I'm hoping that's me on the left prosecuting them. And outside is the gallows, because we're going to impeach a minimum of 1,000 of the 3,300 judges. You cannot allow people to get away with treason, right? It is a serious offence. It is the most heinous offence that you can commit. But saying that, I am now going to go back to another element. So I'm going to show you this one. English girls matter, right? People should be taking them images. Hopefully we'll share them out there on Twitter, etc. And pushing that out. There's obviously other people who do images for us as well. Here's another one. English lives matter. I've sent out some tweets today. Hopefully everyone's going to see them. And what I'm going to do is shut that down before I do anything else. I am going to tell you the extremely good news and a difficult process that Restore Britain are now a registered political party. So today they announced that the Electoral Commission has allowed them to register. They are now registered. That means they can now stand candidates in both local and general elections and by-elections, etc. I won't say too much, but there are a number of people that support the English Constitution Society, the educational arm of the English movement, that have succeeded in passing their vetting procedures, right? And they've looked at their social media feeds. They're not saying anything wrong. They're just talking about England. There are some other things going on in the background, which I won't discuss yet. But there are many positives to what's actually going on. And I'm very pleased to say that people are actually saying, yeah, no, we realise we've got to get behind this and do something. You can't just sit back. They need people that will actually stand in elections. So there's another one. Let me see if I can bring that up. I won't bring that one up. What am I doing now at the moment? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. He's out there, so he has actually gone and done that. Before I do anything else, I am going to show you this again. And then we're going to go through a few of my tweets that I've sent out. So hopefully we'll share this and you can see it on your screen. This was a tweet to Rupert Lowe, or in reply to Rupert Lowe, MP. The people running the US are the most pro-British, unfortunately he's used that term, individuals we could ever hope to be in charge of the strongest country in the world. Watching the inept Labour government wreck such an amazing opportunity is incredibly depressing. Some of them elements have probably changed now. But what I will say is this is what we sent out. So what I want is for people to retweet this, and everyone will understand. Let me see if I can get back to my main points of view. Don't forget, sharing is caring. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going up in numbers in a big way. I'm gonna send. Oh, blimey! Something's gone pear-shaped. What's gone pear-shaped? I can see. I don't know why it's done that, but I've sent that out to everyone. And what I'm going to do is blow this up. So what I said, actually, Trump is pro-English. He said it during a G7 conference, yet you will not speak of England. He has been speaking of England, or taking down the regions. I mean, the regions of England in particular, and especially London, but all of the regions of England, and returning Middlesex to the people of Middlesex. Yeah. So again, Trump is talking about taking down the FEMA regions. Some of the elements of what was going on there, but again, I'm going to show this again. I know I showed it last night, but I'm going to show it again. Hopefully,
but which alliance will be more important, with the EU or with Britain?
Both. I don't want to say which. Look, I think we have been with. I guess it would start off by saying England, right? I asked Boris, where's England? What's happening with England? They don't use it too much anymore. We talked about it. It was very interesting.
Very interesting. The full English show. And again, for years
but
and years
which alliance
years,
will be more important, with the EU or with Britain?
Both. I don't want to say which. Look, I think we have been with. I guess it would start off by saying England, right? I asked Boris, where's England? What's happening with England? They don't use it too much anymore. We talked about it. It was very interesting.
So again, I'm going to stop the share there and go back to this. So I've been doing this a long time. I'm about England. England is the cause. There's no single person. We're a team. We work as a team, right? Every one of the people watching this work as a team. Again, as much as possible, we've got to push this message out. Get involved locally. Put your name up as a member of parliament. Listen, at the end of the day, you'll have us backing you for anything. Go forward, get your name out there. Tell them you're going to stand in an election as a member of parliament in your area for Restore Britain, and we will have a contingent of English in that parliament. And it's really important that people do that. What we do here isn't about me. It's about us, and it's about England, and we operate as a team. We're not going in there to do anything bad or negative towards Restore Britain. Restore Britain means restore England, restore the Constitution, restore Scotland, restore their Constitution, restore Wales, restore their Constitution, restore Northern Ireland to its proper functions. And that means enabling the English Bill of Rights and the Constitution of England in Northern Ireland again. So all of that, we're going to take back control. If anyone out there puts in takebackcontrol.vote, it will take you straight to our website. All right. So again, there's plenty of things that we've been doing in the background, and that there are some discussions happening. Right. So again, don't think anyone's sitting on their hands and letting things just happen. We are moving in the background. Let me have a quick look. Now, I did see earlier on a video. I'm not going to play it, but it was from. I've got to try and think of. Well, I know who it was from, but let's see if I can actually find it on here. On Twitter. So I want you to go and give him a follow because he's a right nice fella. Let's see if I can go and find him. Someone called. There he is. Spartan Militia. right? It's the northern guy. He's got rather upset because they've tried to take his channel down. This is him on Twitter. I've just put out the Twitter handle of Spartan Militia on YouTube, and I believe he's now got a Rumble channel as well, which I'll go and have a look for. On YouTube, he is called oh God, what's his? I was on his YouTube channel. The problem is he's got two different names, which isn't generally a good idea. You want to try and kick, but even me, I've had to change my names because it causes too many problems. What's his name on? The audience will tell me because I know you know who he is. I'll tell you what. Let me see if I can bring him up on the screen. No, well, let me bring that up on the screen. Let's see if I can click that up on the screen. No. Anyone got his name on there? Vindicator Strikes Back. There you go. Vindicator. Thank you very much. And I'm not being rude to him. It's just he's got, when I'm doing this live, I've not normally write things down. So he's got two different names. But on YouTube, he's the Vindicator. They give him a strike against his channel. It looks, well, it don't just look, the evidence suggests it wasn't the last part of the stream, it was the early part, and I believe Paul Thorpe and others were the part that he was talking about. And it's the early part of the stream that YouTube spoke about. Now, that wasn't flagged up by YouTube, it was flagged up by Paul Thorpe. That is what we're, well, it's what the Vindicate was suggesting. He got really angry, not angry, but he was saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You know, I'll have to make a decision on the channel. Listen, I had tens of thousands on one. I had nearly 100,000 on one channel. They took it down. Years worth of work, years and years, right? They took me off of Facebook. They took me off of Twitter. They took me off all of these platforms. The people that are telling you the truth, they're attacking, right? Even if they're small channels. They're attacking anyone that is pointing out the obvious here that you should be looking at. They're losing control of the narrative, and they're losing control of the narrative that they have helped to create by using people who are controlled opposition, Paul Thorpe being one of them, right? Richard Inman being another one, right? And again, I don't normally discuss these things on the channel because I consider them like trolls. You don't want to be talking about them people. But Spartan Militia or the Vindicator was talking about the only safe place is Rumble. And it is. It's took me a long time to build this up with you as an audience, right? But you got to be committed to it. You got to keep putting the information out there. You got to keep, it's you who's getting this out there. And what you've got to understand is Rumble, it may appear, people who are generally controlled opposition, or and I may add this, and because this is really important, when your IP address is non-UK, there's less grievance towards you from YouTube, right? And especially if you're outside of Europe, right? But if you're being promoted and you've got an IP address that is located in the European Union, there's a lot more attacks on you. I noticed straight away when I went out to America for a couple of weeks, my numbers started increasing because it was propagating more. And I think I mentioned last night about Texit. Well, Texit actually took Facebook to court because they were obviously about secession from the American Union. And there's a big movement. It is a massive movement, right? In fact, if they put the effort into Texas, like they put into Alberta, but it's been promoted. The Alberta one has been promoted, and I think for various reasons. But it's really important that people understand that people, Vindicator and others, Andy the Gabby Cabby, and I'm not just saying this, people, right? I was getting fed up with pointing towards people on YouTube, because I'm not on YouTube really. We've got an English Constitution Party website on there. It is increasing in numbers, but they don't promote our channel. It's not monetized at all, right? And anyone who thinks that you can run a political party by not being monetized is fucking living in cuckoo land, right? The difference, obviously, with some people, what's that? Paul Thorpe is upset because no one is voting Advance UK. Why would any? Yeah, no, I agree. So, Spell C3I, I agree with you, right? Listen, they're pants. All they wanted to talk. Listen, all the geezer wanted to talk about was Northern Ireland, right? Northern Ireland, Northern Ireland, Northern Ireland, right? Ben Yamin, Naeem Habib, right, was talking about he grew up in England. He didn't even come here until he was 13, and then he was in a fucking boarding school, right? So all I'm saying to everyone listening to this, he ain't a bit of me, right? He describes himself as a British Pakistani. The Constitution says you can't be in Parliament, as originally enacted, right? That's it. That's all we're saying. And I do want to make this clear to everyone. I mean, I keep saying to everyone, I'm not an EFO nationalist, but I respect their opinions. They should be standing up for our race, our people, right? I mean, my biggest issue with them is they call anyone who don't agree with them, right, a civnat. They are civnats. The British Nationality Act was created by a civnat parliament, the British Parliament. That flag, the British flag, flies over that parliament. It don't fly over the rest of the country. They're not representing us. They're not representing the English, the Scottish, the Welsh, and the Irish. The Scots are overrepresented, and I can show you the books that tell you that. And they are, right? What right have they got? And now they're talking about removing the was it the temporal or the spiritual lords from Parliament completely. They're going completely against the Glorious Revolution settlement. That settlement was for the Protestants, not just the English Protestants, because we were being persecuted, right? It was for the Scottish Protestants, and it was for the Northern Irish Protestants, the Welsh Protestants, and the English Protestants. We were being disarmed, battered, fucked up the arse, raped, right, by the Popish religion. So we stopped it all with the English Bill of Rights. That was the settlement, right? Now I'm putting this out in layman terms. Now what they're doing is trying to undo that very settlement, right? That you're talking about. We are in a revolutionary period where people like Nigel Farage or the Benedict Arnolds, that Benjamin Naeem Habib is a Benedict Arnold. The man would never talk of England. He went on Andy the Cabby's channel. He would not speak of England, right? There was others from Advance will not speak of England. Not having it, right? Stand up and talk about England. There was a fantastic tweet sent out by Rupert Lowe about England and ethnicity. And he said, we're the only country in the world you can't mention English, right? Any other country you can talk about the English, but and you can talk about your own nation, but in England you can't. If you're English, you can't talk about your nation, and you can't talk about English. It's a nightmare. Paul Thorpe is upset because one is voting Advance. Who would vote for them? It's just insane. I am so pleased, though, that they've gone through the process and are now registered. So Restore Britain is now a political party. You're never ever gonna get exactly what you want from anyone. I don't even like political parties. If they said to any of us, there is no whip, but you must support mass deportation and our 100-page plan. Have anyone seen the other plan that the other mob come out with? It was supposed to be 6 pages. But when you actually look at it, it's something like 3 pages. It's got a cover page, a blank page, and a tiny page with a little bit of writing on it. And all these people are joining Reform, thinking they're going to do. Listen, they put no effort into it whatsoever. None whatsoever. They're being led up the garden path. So they are now a registered political party. I am in Bedfordshire. Snap. Who's that? John Aspel. Check out the English Constitution Society's Facebook page. Yeah, and if you can find out, Tracy, whether or not I can do a live to Facebook via that account, and then I can add it to this and it'll go live on Facebook as well. But the main thing is always to keep the Rumble channel going. Again, going back to Vindicate, I don't know how many. Let me have a look and see if I can see if Vindicator's on here. I'm not sure what he would be under. But we'll put him on there and see if he's on here. I don't know. Vindicate. Let's see if I spell it right. Oh, look. There he is. Vindicator. He's got 102 followers on there. Right, let's see if I can pull him on and see if I can. Not sure. If I go and follow him. If anyone who's on Rumble now watching this, right, and the link will be in the description later on, right? Go and give him a follow. And Andy the Gabby Cabby's on there as well, right? Rumble's going to be the place to be. Don't forget the person who told me to get on to Rumble, and you will not be closed down, was Devon Nunes, right? The person who's now technically in charge of all military intelligence in the USA, right? Just to make sure you're aware of that. There you go. So CIJ, Citizen Investigative Journalist, 92 weeks ago. There he is, having a little chat and doing little things. But all I'm saying to the Vindicator and Vengeance is do not become despondent, right? What they do to us is they seek to demoralise. And what I'm trying to say to the EFO Nats, listen, I will listen to you. I haven't got a problem with your message, right? Don't attack us. We are regiments on the same team. But I am not British. I am English, right? And anyone who seeks to take that away from me can go and fuck themselves. It is my birthright, and I intend to uphold the birthright. Let me have a quick look and see if I can show some other stuff. So I think I'll just put that out there. Does anyone give him a follow? Andy looks goosed. He's always on YouTube 24/7. Andy's doing quite well out there. And again, getting back to, I used to send people over to channels. I won't say what some of the channels are, but one of them, the geezer used to have an English flag behind him. And I said to people, go and follow his channel, right? And he was talking about England. Turned out he was controlled opposition. And I met him we went to an event in Reading, and he was there. He was like a little coward, right? And then he starts talking about the British. He was a fucking con man, right? At least what you see is what you get with me. If I was ever in that parliament, I'm standing up for my constituents and for England, nothing else, right? I'm not having a bitch about the Scots. I love the Scots. I think they've done everything they can. They've been stitched up in Scotland, right? And I really do hope that they come on board with Restore and we'll all sit around the table and say, how are we going to solve this, right? Without any ag. I'm English too. Yes, you are. We are waking up. We are waking up. Again, don't forget sharing is caring. The more you share this, the better it is. Don't forget to subscribe on Rumble, subscribe on YouTube. Listen, if YouTube goes down, you must understand the Full English Show is on Rumble. We've got just under 10,000 subscribers. We need more subscribers. Get it over the 10,000 mark. And by the way, on Twitter, they've done this before. As I started moving towards the 10,000 mark, they'll take out my channel on Twitter. And I'll have to start again from nothing, right? That's what they do. It's all part of the demoralisation process. They've already told me that they are crushing my channel. Grokker's told me. I've asked, I've put it in there, and they've said, you're not promoted because you are not civic, because you believe in self-determination. We won't promote that. So just to let you know, that's their opinion. I'm English with a Scottish accent. You can have any accent you like. I love accents. I walk in a pub and say, hello, my lovelies. Right? There's nothing better than a lady's. Ooh, oh. And you got the little cockney going, go on, girl. Right. Jacobo. Saxon Thor done a really good video today. Who's that? Saxon Thor done a really good video today. Put the link in. The British are upset because their empire is done. It was done, in my opinion, Second World War. It was then done by the Second World War. It's gone. First World War was the main attack on it. And again, all they want is the working class to get up. They're just mowing the grass because they need to take us out of the game. One of the biggest differences. What's that? Leave Graham alone. Who's that? One of the things that people need to understand about everything that's going on in the background with that is, hang on a minute, I just forgotten what I was about to say. The British are upset because the empire is done and it was England that grew it in the first place. Yeah, I got you on Rumble. Right, England conquered the planet. Well, it was quite friendly to a lot of people. We had dominions, not colonies. That's the biggest difference between the British and the English. And all the dominions meant was they had self-determination, and then the final part of the common law appeal would always come back to the English Royal Courts of Justice, where the judges were proper, not like they are now. So I thought the English... So I just want to make sure everyone's got this one as well, because I'm going to show you what I wrote. And we need this information going out to people. I want as many people as possible individually to be contacting Rupert Lowe at his Twitter account, or if he's on Facebook, or he's on Instagram, or whatever platform he's on, Twitter, etc., YouTube, and just say, talk to Graham Moore. Right, he's not the baddie. He's a goodie, right? And just let them know that. Who's that? John Pierce, and he looks like Joe 90 with them new glasses on. I thought them new glasses have got mics in there. I might be wrong, but yeah, no, he's looking. His channel's looking good. And again, he's a proper Englishman and he's working class. That's all I'm interested in. That's what I was going to say to you. It's really important that people understand this. For every time we have gone into a full-scale revolution, peasants' revolt onwards, and before and after, right? There's free. Everyone says there's no class system in England. Do fuck off, right? Of course, there's a class system in England, right? If there was no class system in England, you wouldn't have veterans fucking dying on the street, would you? Freezing to fucking death. There is a class system in this country. The most important thing to remember is every single revolution that we've been in when we've took back control and restated, which is what the Glorious Revolution did, our constitution, and told these people to get back in their boxes, right? The separation of powers and the jury system. Everyone can see England's under attack now, right? People need to understand we only win, and I'm going to explain this to you, when the middle classes, right, which was the merchant class, the city dwellers, and the lower class, what they described as the lower classes, labourers, tradesmen, etc., when them two groups of people, right, come together, because it's the ruling class that's doing all this shit in the background, right? So what you've now got is, again, I think this is fantastic. The working class and the middle class are coming together. That is a key thing. Really is a big key thing, right? So when you see these people, there's one particular woman, I've blocked her. Well, actually, she blocked me. And she takes the piss out of my London accent. What? And all that. Do you know what I mean? I'll look at her. By the way, she's an alcoholic. And she's a mug, right? And there is something seriously wrong with her, right? In terms of some of the things she's done in the back. I have an instinct for wrong uns, right? Cut a long story short, in the past, when they oppress us, right, what it normally is the ruling class and the middle class attacking us. That is what you've got with reform, right? That is what you've got with advance, right? The middle class and the ruling classes are attacking the working class. Rupert Lowe is doing this completely different. This is a proper revolutionary setup, in my opinion, right? I'm looking at it from up here, right? So a lot of people say what you say goes over our heads. Trust me when I say this, I've run enough businesses, I've looked at strategy, I've worked for massive corporations, I've even given um, uh, a presentation to Warren Buffett, right, when I was a sales engineer, right? So all I'm saying to you is I look at things and I see things differently. From a strategic point of view, Rupert Lowe and the working class are coming together. It is completely different to what's happening with the others, right? And that includes the Conservative and Union Party, right? But I will say this, and it is really important that everyone gets this. The Art of the Deal, right? Donald Trump, and The Art of War, Sun Tzu. This information that's being put to you, you must always be prepared to walk away. And if the other side know that you are prepared to walk away from the deal, you'll always get a good deal. If they think that you're not up for it, right, which is currently what's going on in a lot of these other avenues, they all want to keep the union, not understanding how bad it is, right? And not understanding that this British element, and especially, these many groups, including the people that are doing this to us at the moment, the British Nationality Act of 1948 needs to be completely fucking abolished, right? And once it's abolished, you take them people, and there are individual I can point out. I can say them people need to go, right? One of them he has got a passport that he is a dual American British citizen. Once the British ship's gone, which it will go, and he's white, by the way, he can fuck off to America. There's a woman, same one, like that Amy Delamora, right? She's she got an American passport. She can go and live there tomorrow, right? Take her British passport away and fuck her off, right? There's lots of people that are doing a lot of damage in the background. They think they're very clever people, and they're not going to be fucking clever when they go as well, right? Especially the white ones, right? There are some black people and brown people in this country. I just want to make sure you understand this, right? That are more fucking English and culturally English than them people, right? Just remember that. As long as they are not living in social housing, as long as they're not taking benefits, as long as they're not punching off of us, as long as they are good people and not criminals, right? I haven't got an issue with them, right? Listen, people listening to this, 98, if you followed the Constitution of England, 98% of them people would be gone anyway. If you put the policies in place that Restore Britain are talking about, they'll all leave. You wouldn't have to fucking pack them onto planes. And by the way, if anyone really does want to understand again, you're going to have to put a lot of thought into this, right? This is off the top of my head. In London, we have now got Thames Port. It's one of the biggest actual container ports in the world. It has been fully dredged to take massive container ships, right? You can pull in massive, great big ships in there, put them on the fucking ships and send them straight out. You'll get 5, 10, 11,000 people on each one of them, right? Just keep bringing them in and keep taking them back, right? Bring the ships into them ports. It's all set up. It's ready to go. Go on then, get on. Fuck off, right? That's how you do it. You can take out the jihadists, and again, you will have to arm the English, right? They're now talking about taking away, you got to be licensed to have a crossbow. Fuck off, right? We want our guns back. We want with an English parliament, and an English passport, right? You have got, that is your license. You have the right to keep and bear arms. The Americans got it from us. So people need to understand that. Jacko Suellen just link in. Richard Gorton. What's this one say? Need Graham on Joe Rogan. That's an increase in the numbers. If you can get me on Joe Rogan, I believe I need to go and speak to, and again, I'm not sure how many of you are actually emailing him, but we need Tucker Carlson, we need Joe Rogan, we need all these people. The Americans are interested in the conversation. When I went out to Texas, every time I give a speech, I was there for 3 days. Every time I give a speech, it was fucking packed, right? And they was listening and saying, "Well, we didn't know this," right? And our leaflets, we was giving them our leaflets, and they fully understand it. Don't forget, Texas, as part of their constitution in 1836, fully adopted the English common law, and they can rely entirely on the common law of England and all the stare decisis from England. They're very unique, but the whole of America is a common law jurisdiction. The only state in America that is not a common law jurisdiction, the same as England, is Louisiana, which is Roman law, but it is still governed by the Supreme Court. So, and the Supreme Court is a common law jurisdiction, and that is why they've tried to get into the judges. That's why, if you go back to the beginning of the show, I said impeach the judges. In America and in England, impeach the judges, take anything, and the worst ones, just do what King Alfred did. If a judge has made done anything where a subject has been killed, harmed himself, committed suicide because of their fucking bad judgment, and the judgment is against us as the English. I'll give you was it Peter Lynch, right? The judge that sent him to prison, right, should be impeached immediately, and he will have a further trial on the basis of King Alfred and hang the bastard, right? Hang the fucking judge. Let the people see what happens to judges when they go crooked on us, and let the judges see what happens when they go crooked, and then they'll stop fucking doing it, right? I'll tell you one thing about lefties, right? They think they're very clever, but they've got no fucking arsehole whatsoever. If they think there's a fucking rope at the end of it, they won't do it. That's the way you take back the country. And I am talking about due process, right? I'm not inciting violence. I'm talking about due process. And in the same way as we rebuild our militias, because you're going to need the people to arm, be trained. This is weapon safety. We need to pick these people up and take them to these ports. Put them on the ships, send the ships out. We're going to need lots of Royal Marine, in particular, and special forces to be on them ships in case they play up on the way out, right? And the way to their destination. Get them off. Tell the other end if you don't want to take them, right? Then all bets are off. You're not dealing anymore with England. Full stop, right? You either take these people back, right, or we'll put them on an island. And I've got just the island, by the way. And by the way, it's got an airport. Cost us 260 million. Right, that's my mini rant over. Anyone got anything to say to me? Don't forget, I don't want to be sitting down for too long tonight. I've got to do my pelvic movements. Not that I'm going to get up in the and start doing my pelvic movements. Here, DD. Thank you very much. Don't forget, sharing is caring. St Helena. Well, that's it. St Helena. Mid-Atlantic. What a wonderful place. Chuck Money. Graham, what about seeing if the ECP members want to have their voting moved to Restore? See if they're willing to have subs go to Restore. Then you purchase a top subscription and get access to Rupert Lowe. I will be telling you, Chuck Money, ring me. Not now, but ring me after the show. There are other things going on in the background. And we're going to be making some decisions in June. That's why the June convention is going to be the English Constitution Society and the English Constitution Party. I need as many people as possible to turn up at that. That's the one that we're having in Maplethorpe. And then we've got the other one that's in Norfolk, which is in July, a month later. Let me have English Pelvic Power. Yeah. Team Book 2. Well, DD. It's the old Tom Jones movements The ladies will be happy. Yeah, I'm not sure. This might be a bit too brutal, that one. Abolish the Nationality Act, problem solved. It's only part of the problem, but there's probably, well, there's not probably, there's between 20 and 50 particular, and they must be abolished, not repealed. Again, I'm hearing a lot of things from these, but they're being wrongly advised. You must, it is repugnant to the people, it must be abolished. Parliament can abolish it, and that means that the stare decisis, in other words, anything that was decided by a judge prior to that abolishment, it is no longer valid. Whereas if you repeal it, that's the stare decisis decisions still stand. If you want to abolish it completely, right, that means all these people have had all these judges say, yeah, you can do this, you can do that. You say, right, it's all abolished. That judgment is out the window. Get them on that fucking plane and fuck off. Right? It's as simple as that. Letting it going out tomorrow, Mr. Lowe's office, Graham, Scotty, J70. Well done. Thank you very much. Can't we reclassify the Quran as a threat to the safety and security of our country? We can easily do that. And the Bill of Rights supports that. And just to make sure everyone's aware, it's not just about the Quran. It's a trilogy. It's about the Hadiths, and it's about the Sunnah of Muhammad, right? And you must start to re-engage and use the word Mohammedans. Stop using Muslims and use the word Mohammedans, because that's what they are. They follow the Sunnah of Muhammad. They are Mohammedans, right? That's the way all these books talked about them. And it is the Marxists that re-changed that wording. And they said they don't like being called, that Muslims don't like being called Mohammedans. Well, if you're following the Sunnah of Muhammad, you're a Mohammedan, right? Full stop. And by the way, Muhammad was ginger. Woohoo! English Jump Money. What's this? Juicy and Lucy. Hi, Juicy and Lucy. The English Constitution is without a doubt the solution for us all. Good evening, everyone. Always on here. The Hadiths were written 300 years after Muhammad's death. Paul Phillip, I'm not an expert on that. I've got stuff on my other computer which I could bring up and go through all that, and it would tell me the detail. But again, I don't want to be an expert in Mohammedans, their satanic religion. The whole thing is a satanic verses. I'm not interested. Seminar Western Supermare, 7th of April, 7 p.m. Yeah, don't forget, we've got the seminar coming up in Western Supermare, 7th of April, 7 p.m. I've got a scan going on with me back next Thursday. I'm doing some other bits next Tuesday as well, so I might be out. I don't know if I'm going to be back in time on the Tuesday evening, but I just want everyone to understand that I'm trying to fit in a load of other things, and then I've got something else to prepare for a court case for someone else. Let me have a quick look here. Yeah, my mum was ginger. My granddad was ginger. I'm not having a go at ginger. I'm just saying he was ginger. The older names for Muslims are Saracens or Moorish Moors. Yeah, but then we used to call them Mohammedans. And there's loads of law books that show you that. I'm only talking about what we used to call them. But yeah, Saracens or there is other names for them. But the Moors were slightly different because it was a different group of them. They're the ones who used to take at the slaves, and they took the slaves from Baltimore in Southern Ireland, which is right at the bottom of Ireland, even lower down than County Cork. Well, it's in County Cork, but lower than Cork itself. And then they used to take us from Cornwall, etc. Anything else out there? Archanaut Danny Dragon Mohammedans is a much newer name. Well, it's the name that they don't like, so I suggest you start calling them it. Good evening, Sheepdog and Jimsy and John Aspel. Jellyshot, I know, laugh out loud. England is rising loud and proud, and rightly so. No, I agree. People have started to wake up a little bit to what's going on. Restore Britain is officially a registered political party from today. Yeah, it is indeed. Only a ginger can call another ginger. Yeah. Graham, what's this one? Graham, do the time walk dance. The pelvic thrust will help your back. What's the time walk dance? Connected to ball worshipping and Jews and Palestinians, probably. While slave traders USA whoop them. The right, and again, if you read the history of what happened, the Portuguese was well into slavery and the transportation of slaves for 400 years before the British had any involvement with it. And then the British was involved for about 100 years and then put a stop to it. But it wasn't the British that stopped it. It was the English common law that stopped it. And again, that was Somerset versus Stuart, 1772. And again, on these shelves is the full memoirs of Granville Sharp, right? And it tells you there's so much in there. If I went through some of that, you'd be in tears. There was one particular thing where the English had said we ain't having this when they dumped a load of slaves overboard to claim the insurance and drowned them. They was evil. And by the way, there was mainly Jewish ships. That was 2017, so 10 years old, DD. What is? Thank you, Patriots. We just need 9 more thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, right? Really important for the channel on Rumble and on YouTube and anywhere else you can see to give us a like. But also, don't forget, it's really important everyone pushes through. Did I show you this? I'm not sure if I showed you this. I'll tell you what, my copy link. Let me put this out there. I need this retweeted, girls and boys. Smash this out there just so they know we do actually respect them. I'm going to show you this one. Let me go back to it and see if I can find it for you. Is that the one? Yeah, is it? Right. So on your screen at the moment, this is what I've just sent out in the message box. To those who support the English, keep going. You're doing well. Never surrender. Always find new ways to communicate. They can't keep up with the clever working class, even when they use AI. That is really true, right? Gabby Cabby, Real Dino Bane, and Darkin Knight DA, which is basically, this is what I'm saying, he's got 3 different names. But basically, that is the Spartan militia on Twitter, but then he's the Vindicator on YouTube, right? So again, send that out, give them all a follow. Andy the Gabby Cabby, follow Real Dinah Bane. We all need to be sticking together. If you don't like something I say, keep your hair on. We're just in different regiments, right? Someone who's in the Royal Artillery is going to have a different opinion of how you should be doing something to the Royal Marines. Royal Marines would just say, fuck all that, let's just stay in, right? And then other regiments will do other things. Paras will just say, let's just jump out of a plane and fucking kick their heads in on the way down, right? We're different. We're on the same side, right? Don't fight each other. The core thing is we all support remigration, right? As long as there is a logistical plan for it, right? And we abolish the laws that have enabled it, right? And one of them, biggest one there, is the British Nationality Act 1948 and 1981, right? That's all you've got to understand. So I'm just going to make sure everyone can see that. How can I bring that up on the screen so everyone sees it? English lives matter, right? I think that's a great image, don't you? And even the dragon, the Whiffin, has got a smile on his face. So we've put both the images of St. George, etc., but the dragon is clawing at the St. George's flag. He wants to go back on our flag, right? You wait till I get my dinosaur. I'll be sitting here with my dinosaur having a conversation, and Richard Ingeman saying, "See, I told you, right? He's taking advice from a dinosaur. He's got a brain that big." Did everyone like my dinosaur? Did you all see my dinosaur? I'm really proud of that. I'm still proud of it. I'm so happy that I found my fucking dinosaur. It's going to go on the mantelpiece. I'm going to make sure it don't fall off. And I've got to get it here so it don't break. There you go. So there it is. There's the image. If you want to go and copy that image and send it to, right? I'm not sure. I can't even send that image in there. But let me see if I can send you this image out there. If anyone wants to copy this image, copy the image and send it to Rupert Lowe, because it's got everything it needs on there, right? There's the actual photo. There it goes. I've just put it on there. Anybody who's ex-military knows the things DD says about regiments is true. Yep. Someone asked me if I was British at the gym the other week. She looked shocked when I said I was English. That's what you should be doing. You should be now up in the level and say, I'm English. I'm English. Dinosaurs didn't exist, but dragons do. Listen, I ain't getting into that argument. It looks a bit like a dragon anyway, but I was only 6. Paul Case has put it on Facebook and Steve Reed. Well done. Going to schools is simply a lesson in knowing your enemy. That's why they persuade people that the government are not your enemy. Jacobo, I hear you on that fault. I don't know what. Totally with you, Ancient English. Who's Ancient English? Shizzle 15, yeah, it needs to be more publicly stop the enemy. You're all doing a great job, though. But don't forget, so there are some things that I'm looking for. There's no such thing as I in team, right? Team players are team players. Every one of you is just as important as me, right? We are one big team, and we will go forward as one big team. But we are the English Constitution Society, right? We're educational. We want more and more people. That if you know any channels you want to get me on, as long as they're not, there's some channels I won't go, not many, that I won't go on. But the bigger the channel, the better. The small channels, the audience that are under certain, but if they're intelligent. There was one I see the other day. Matt, someone sent it to me. Matt Letizia was on it. And it was a guy called, I think his name was Chris Smith. I couldn't work it out because the system says he's Canadian, but he's got a Scouser accent. Does anyone heard of that geezer? Chris Smith, his name is. He's got a small channel on Twitter. Just wondered, but when a lefty hears your English, they all look tangoed orange. Yeah, I know. They can't stand it. Yes, they do. We were proud of constitutionalists. Yeah, that's it. That's all we've got to be, right? And if you want to call us constitutional extremists, it means we're the rule of law extremists. You know, we believe that treason is a hanging offence at the minimum, right? If it was down to me, I'd hang, draw and quarter them, right? And stick them at Traitors Gate and let every fucker see what goes on. That's what happens. And again, I firmly believe with every ounce of my being that this problem has been caused by Parliament, right? They have captured the crown, not some external source. They have captured the crown. They've taken all of the prerogatives, but the crown has surrendered them prerogatives and it had no right to do so under the Constitution, right? So therefore, the crown is just as responsible. They have committed treason. They've perjured their oath. Don't listen to anyone telling you any fucking different to that, right? Especially if they're American. They're quite welcome to the monarchy. If they want a monarchy, we'll give them back. You can have the monarchy back if you want. We'll have a republic. And again, remember that the judiciary are just, or not just, they are equally responsible. for the mire we find ourselves in today. Them people need to be impeached. We need to go through them people. We need to go through the barristers. We need to go through the solicitors. We need to take their fucking houses, take their fucking pensions, and if they want a job filling fucking shelves, as a minimum, filling shelves in Tesco's, that's what they're going to be doing, right? It's the only way you'll ever take this country back. He abdicated because he perjured his oath. And the English Bill of Rights settled that argument. The argument was between whether he absconded or abdicated. And the answer is they come back and said he abdicated. And the reason and the word abdicated was used because what they said as the part of the settlement for the Glorious Revolution was that the king had perjured his oath, and you don't have to abdicate in writing. You can do it by deed. You can perjure your oath and abdicate. And there's other stuff I've got here, which if I showed you, you would go, wow. And it goes through the history of other monarchs that have done that. I mean, one of our monarchs actually apologized to people and he said, I swear to God, I never realized that I had perjured my oath. I apologize to the people and I apologize to God. Right? And he was genuinely sorry, and we never hanged him. We never cut his head off, and he carried on being the king. Let me have a quick look at the wonderful chat tonight. So don't forget, keep sending this out, keep getting it in there, and just to make sure everyone is aware of this, right? I do this 8 p.m. every night. My life revolves around this show and talking about England and the English Constitution. If anyone comes along and says to me, we ain't got a constitution or we haven't got a written constitution, if they say we haven't got a constitution, I'll say to them, so how have we got a constitutional monarchy and we live in a constitutional monarchy? We don't live in a constitutional democracy, right? Same as America. They haven't got a constitutional democracy. They have a constitutional republic. There is a fucking difference, right? Democratic republics are not constitutional republics, and they are not constitutional monarchies. What they do is that is how the left take control, and that's what they've done with Southern Ireland, right? And that's what they're trying to do in this country. And you've got to say, we're not having it. That's not the way we operate, right? Importantly, the common law can give you either a constitutional monarchy or a constitutional republic. Whichever way you go, that's what you're doing. But if they ever say to you, we haven't got a constitution, you simply say, so why are we living in a constitutional monarchy? And then they say we haven't got a written constitution. And then at the seminars, we show all in big banners, right? Constitutional laws. Then we get these law books out and show them constitutional law, constitutional law, constitutional law. If you're not in writing, why is it in the law books? Why is it written in the law books, constitutional law? Housebury Statutes of England, Volume 10, 4th edition. About that thick, constitutional law. So if it's not written, why is it in law books written down as constitutional law? And constitutional statutes, more importantly. And if I was to show you some of them, which I'm going to get some more made up for the new seminars, and then they say it's not codified. You say, so what's Article 9 of the English Bill of Rights, which is the one that's most used at the moment, right? Which is the proceeding, you can't interfere with the proceedings of Parliament, which is why you can't have whips, right? Political parties shouldn't be interfering in any way with the conscience of a member of Parliament. The member of Parliament is there to protect your civil liberties and your public rights. That means the English Bill of Rights. It is a criminal offence in the common law to go against your English Bill of Rights. Did you all know that? There's 2 offences under the common law. You can get sent to prison for it and massively fined. One is contempt of statute under common law, and it's in that book behind me. Let me turn without doing me back in. This is fantastic that I can turn like this. I think it's that one. It may be that one. We'll see if it's in this one. It's in this one here. Rights and related rights. Housebury Laws of England. Commonwealth, Commonwealth. Oh, Commonwealth's in there. I think it's this one. But it actually says, this is the other one I've got on here. Is it that one? What's a muppet? Someone has put that back on that shelf and not put it back on there properly. I wonder who that was. Right, let's have a look and see what it says. There's certain bits that I want to show you in here. Right, here it is. So this one is Housby's Laws of England, Volume 26, Criminal Law. This is the 5th edition, right? So this is, I think, the current edition. They're quite expensive, these ones. Paragraph 425, page. Page. Where's page number? Page 11. Looks like there's a load of, but page 11, paragraph 425. Listen to this. Contempt of the sovereign. Contempt of sovereign is an offence at the common law. It is triable only on indictment, so via a jury, and is punishable by fine and imprisonment at the discretion of the court. Right? So it is a criminal offence to go against the two things. One is contempt of statute, and two, contempt of sovereign. Right? And that is what, and he's already committed the offences. Perjuring your oath is another offence, right? For the monarch. And by the way, the judges as well. So they've all committed criminal offences, but you're not being taught this anymore. You should all understand that these people need to be hung. And I'm going to show you this once again because I love it so much. There it is. English Lives Matter. Get that sent out as much as you possibly can. Right? Start sending it to them and say, we want people to talk about England. Right? We are English. Our ethnicity is English. The more you independently send that, so you can pick it up and send it to Rupert Lowe and his team, the more people will see it. Lincoln wanted United States, a bit like EU. Confederates wanted independence. Bry 54, exactly right. Lincoln was advised and consulted with Karl Marx. And if you don't believe me, there's actually documents on Twitter showing how integrated he was with Lincoln himself. And in effect, the Civil War of 1860 was about the Confederates saying, no, we fought this independence war to get away from the British and the centralisation of power, and the in effect the Unionists, which was the North, was imposing upon them from Washington DC the same type of law and rule as centralised via the British system. Right, Katie, that dragon. Funky tattoos, turn Parliament into a prison. They got most of the fence around it already. We'll pack it out and then get someone to throw something at it. Also, please retweet. Yeah. Don't forget the English Exit account. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's really helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the Rumble channel. And obviously, if you're on Twitter, come and subscribe to me. Give me a hint if you want me to follow you back, and then I'll know you follow the channel. And then you can watch it on Twitter or you can watch it on here. Currently, we've got, on a Friday night, we've got over 505 people watching. And there's a number of people watching on the different parts of the channel. We have to rebuild it up again. But I'm on here every night, 8 p.m. live. I've no doubt at some stage in the future the YouTube channel is going to get taken down, literally because I tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And they don't like it. And they don't like me. They've took my channels down before. And again, all I'm saying to people like Vindicator, Dino Dane, Andy the Gabby Cabby, who's doing a fantastic job, Sean Atwood, fantastic job. All of these people out there, and not to mention one of our other great friends in Norfolk, and I've forgotten the name of his channel at the moment, but I'm sure it'll come back to me in a minute. There's someone wants to put it out there. We'll be doing all of that, and we're going to their event again, so everyone should be cracking on. Let me have a quick look. I'm watching on YouTube. Whoever that is. C. Calvert. I'm watching on YouTube. Good. Chuck money, but don't forget to come over to Rumble if you're watching on YouTube and sign up on YouTube. Don't forget to click the button to see all my things come out, and they'll email you. They tell you when I'm live, and you just click on the button, go straight, and it should be reasonably instant now. I don't know if it's exactly instant, but don't forget, memorize your password or write your password down and put it somewhere, or copy and paste it somewhere and put it in there so you know you can get back into your account again. Maria Mechanics, hello. Right, Guna Mum, LBS Productions or IDS. That's it. They're great people. Chris, Mark, and the whole team, including Simon from Norfolk, they're creating this other event in July, a 3-day event. I know Goon and Mum wanted to go to it and couldn't go it last time. I'll be there this time. There's some great speakers going to be there. You'll see me set up and get there. I'm going to need some help setting up again. So just get in there and do it. Archonauts, yeah, that's him. Hi there, Claire. I met you in Hull. Claire, I met you in Hull. Don't know who that's to. My name's not Claire, but unless you're talking about a Claire that's out there. Hi, Guna Mum. I don't care if they don't like it. Truth is more important than traitors' lies. No, I agree entirely. Your political party, LSB Productions. LSB Production, that's it. And again, I want to talk to them about Restore as well, because they're a really, really good little outfit. They're very, very active in what they do. They're very clever people. Some of them are ex-military. They're not idiots, and they will graft. I've got a feeling we're going to smash. I believe that they're going to bring a new election sooner rather than later. So the building of the party has got to be done as soon as possible, really. And a proper right-wing party. I've got no cigarettes here whatsoever. Not that I'm smoking, really, but I'm just smoking dog ends. I'm Claire. Claire Calvert. Hello, Claire. You met me in Hull, or you met someone else in Hull? Talking to you, Zed. Cheers. I'll recognise most people when I see them. If I don't remember your name, it don't mean, and you had a conversation with me, it's just going to see so many people. I'm like my dad, he forgets the names of his own kids. He calls me Gillian all the time. We're not identical, by the way. Sorry, my little joke. Yes, fine weekend. Proud to be English. Right, that's it, people. I am going to slip off. There's a few things going on at the moment. I'm going to go and watch the Aspire competitions as well and see if I've won anything. So if you want to go and watch that on YouTube, Aspire competitions, and if I win, it'll be fantastic. That's it. Good night, DD, and all patriots, and have a great weekend. God bless. God bless all of you. Don't forget, I am immensely grateful for everything that you do. It is about us as a team. It is not just about me. I want everyone to remember that, right? But even if I was on my fucking own, I would be standing in the street with an English flag saying I'm a fucking Englishman, right? I stood next to you in Victoria Square. All right. Are you married? Right, also, let's have a look. Lady Jane Rigby, is that out there? Good night, D-Day, and everyone, God bless all. I will see you all again Monday evening, and I'll tell you what's going on from there, but we're going to have a bit of a busy week next week. So good night, God bless, and don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution. Get out there, join Restore, but keep saying to them you need to restore the English Constitution.